In studio right now is a gentleman by the name of Bill Rockhill. He is with Bear Creek Carpentry and is featured in the latest Adirondack Life magazine. Tiny houses and grand camps. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good morning, Bill.
You're onto something really, really cool here.
Well, it's not, I'm just a part of it.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a very long time in the Adirondacks, and it's really hit mainstream around 2006, 2008.
So perfect for if you're going to have a camp in the Adirondacks. Perfect for that. But this is also people are purchasing these around the country, just into mainstream housing. People there seems to be a downsizing, especially with the new generation coming up. They want smaller. They're not looking for the big house with the picket fence. They're looking for something different.
Well, the demographic is single women over 35, couples starting out that just don't want to buy into the whole mortgage,
right?
White picket fence thing. They really, really want to have an outside life. This is a big part of the tiny house movement, is living outdoors, and they're spending more time hiking, kayaking, biking, out with their dogs.
Yeah.
A lot of people have animals in the tiny house world.
Oh, really? So you're talking about 150 square feet, right?
Anywhere from 150 to 300 portable.
And the average house, 2,000 square feet, 1,500 square feet. I mean,
American national average is around 2,240, something really close to that.
Yeah, and here these are at 150 to 300. Wow, but they're beautiful. Unbelievable. And how you fit all that stuff in these little tiny spaces.
Well, that's the hat trick, is to take the person's personality and their needs. Like you have a single mom with one kid, or a brother and sister taking care of someone that's injured. I just had that yesterday. Everyone has their own specific needs. So what we do is we titrate or build the project to fit them.
Yeah.
And then what amenities they can and can't have. Sometimes they can fit them, sometimes they can't.
What do you do with, does anyone ever ask you to put it on a foundation and include a basement?
Oh, we do that.
Yeah.
We cut our teeth on building really big houses and houses with foundations. And obviously, being up in the Adirondacks, we really cater to the camp crowd. And with the cost of fuel going up, we really started building very efficient foundations with this new Logix, or it's called ICF, insulated concrete forms. We were doing full foundations for a very, very long time, and still do. But this has been kind of my dream, is to work out of a shop, and not that we had a long winter last year.
Yeah. Not that it was cold or anything.
So that's a good segue into efficiency here. I mean, I'm looking at your pictures on Facebook, which is the Facebook page is Bear Creek Carpentry Company. If you want to see some pictures,
you got to look at these pictures.
But I mean, it's all foam insulated, so this isn't just like a wooden structure. It is. There's wood, but in between there's a lot of insulation and everything.
Well, Jeff, that's my brother's name, by the way. And I yell that a lot. No,
so you guys work together.
100% right. We use and that's our motto, is we use the latest technology to get the best end, which is like closed cell spray foam insulation, the best sheathing on the market that you can use for houses, made by Uber, which is the zip system. We use top-notch windows like Marvin Integrity. We get right here at JK. We've been buying from them for 25 years. It's like a really tiny house with everything that would be in a real big house, but
then you go, if the house is going to be small, you might as well make it spectacular. And that's really in some of these, like this, I'm looking at this, what looks like it's a copper, the bathtub and the shower, all tiled. I mean, just unbelievably beautiful.
Well, in that case, the lady had a desire, if she was going to live small, she was going to live luxurious but small.
Yeah.
And people have their luxuries, and we cater to those. In that case, that was a hand-hammered copper tub that a samurai would take a soak in, and we had to have the hot water heater to match that, and we did the hand laid up tile.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Phew. Wow.
When we were talking off the air, you said that you prepare the homes for electric and all things. Do you have a lot of call to do like solar and alternative energy sources?
Well, that particular house has a huge solar system on it. Absolutely. We have calls for completely off-the-grid systems all the time. People say, well, I want to live off the grid. And I say, well, you have to buy into it.
Yeah.
And
it is
solar
not cheap
is
today.
not cheap, even on tiny houses.
Yep.
Now, you can live halfway. You can live partially with a generator and a small battery and a charger and conditioner. The next big stumbling block is sewer and getting water in. A lot of people do rain collection or water collection, but most of the tiny house world has gone to composting toilets or ways of getting rid of their waste themselves,
as opposed to a septic system,
rather than have to buy into a septic system, or like an RV, a containment system. But then that becomes labor intensive, getting rid of the waste.
Got it. And what do these sell for?
Bill, I get that question every day.
Yeah.
In reality, they go from in the 25, 30,000, and as nuts as 80 or 90,000.
And I would assume that you mentioned. Did you say Seattle? You built one for.
We're building one right now for a lady in British Columbia.
Okay.
We're building two for ladies here in central New York, one in Syracuse and one a little further downstate.
And a lot of these people are people that really care about the environment. They want to scale their lives down. Or is it just, what do you, who are you meeting with?
Well, the one lady down south is a very avid outdoors woman, hunter, lives by herself, raised two daughters, and has just wanted to get off the mortgage train. She bought herself a couple 100 acres that she has her tree stands, and she's renting out the farmhouse, and she's going to have a tiny house there and live efficiently.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that, where they have a real house where a family of 4 or 6 can rent that house, and then they piggyback off and stick a tiny house in the field. As a matter of fact, one of the leaders of the movement, Shafer, did that initially. He bought a house, put his tiny house in the backyard, and rented out his own house.
Wow. And you take that, and think about it, you remove that mortgage. You can travel, you can live a completely different life.
And that's really what this is about, is freedom. In simple terms.
Right.
People want to get off the being tied to a job, being tied. A lot of these people dream about making their living on the road in some other fashion, which is a non-traditional income.
Yeah. Speaking of non-traditional, how in the hell did someone your size? You're a big guy. When I
resemble that remark.
when I expect you to walk through these doors, I thought you'd be my size. Tiny houses, tiny guy. You're not a tiny guy.
Well, I grew up in the Bronx, and I was well fed by a Polish mom and a Sicilian stepdad.
All right, there's a combination right there.
I was a high-rise carpenter in Manhattan. I drove yellow cab in Manhattan, and my family was in the towing business in East Harlem. And I came up through the streets. I had my opportunity to move up to the North Country, and I really don't look back.
Yeah, I can't. This has got to be like a dream come true for you right now.
Well, I never really knew how important it was when you pulled the firebox and ran away in the Bronx. And now I'm a paramedic and a fireman, and I'm a big member of a big part of my life is the community that I serve. So
pretty awesome. All right, so how do they get in touch with you? The Facebook page is what?
I love some of these. My wife wouldn't go for it, but I'll tell you, I'd move into one of these in a heartbeat.
Aren't they beautiful?
Jeff, you could send her my number. You don't even have to be part of it if you don't want.
All right. Really, really cool. You got to check these out. Bill Rockhill. Just Google Bear Creek Carpentry, and it'll all come up. And if you get a chance, pick up this magazine. The photos in here and the story is a great story. Adirondack Life magazine, which is out there. Good stuff, Bill. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
All right.